I tried really hard here in Davos for the last 48 hours to find a Paytm accepting vendor, but I couldn't. That's not the story in India though. The last 2 months of demonetization have been a big boost for Paytm and other mobile payment companies. And I have with me the founder of Paytm to talk us through what the last few months have been and where he is with his payment bank venture. Well, Vijay, welcome to BloombergQuint. Welcome to Davos. It's your first year.
Yes.
So we're determined to freeze you.
Thank you so much for having me here in this audience and this climate and keeping me out of the warm place.
Yeah, well, tough professional hazard.
Yeah.
But, you know, the last 2 months have been really very good in terms of the boost it's given digital payments in our country.
Yeah.
But it's also a month that has therefore, or a couple of months that have raised a lot of questions about your ownership.
Yeah.
Now, it isn't as if your ownership was not already publicly known, right?
Yeah.
But suddenly you become the Chinese-owned digital payments company that got a big boost thanks to Mr. Modi's demonetization move.
Yeah.
Are you?
Now, first of all, we are not owned at all by Chinese. I mean, there is an investment which is a financial investment. As far as the board is concerned and operations are concerned, there is no Chinese.
No, I'm aware of the facts.
No.
How are you dealing with the impressions?
So first of all, let's get the facts clear, and then I'm going to talk about what the dealing is. So we are totally, as far as operations and the board and everything else is concerned, an Indian company. There's a financial investment from an investor who's happened to be from China. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
And now the second point, we effectively have also converted our Paytm wallet into a completely Indian domiciled company called Paytm Payments Bank. Paytm Payment Bank is an Indian domiciled bank which will inherit the Paytm wallet. So the questions of Chinese ownership, I wish, are out of the window for good.
Okay, fine. It's been a stellar few months for you in terms of the business.
I believe.
What has it told you about the digital payments market in India?
One thing that I always was surprised, or always was not sure, was that how deeper in India the digital payment will go. It is obviously known that we all use smartphones, we all are natives and have been digital sense, so we'll use another app, and if this pays is great.
Yeah.
But if we were to talk about people who have not used internet, not used smartphone, and they don't take a double leap, they will learn internet, they will learn smartphone, and they'll take payment. That has happened. That's a shocking and pleasant shocking in a way. So I think what I learned is that India's even villages and towns which are less than 100,000 populations are now at 20%. Remember, before demonetization happened, it was just less than 2%.
Right.
So in a market where we are 3 times bigger in our internal numbers, this number has grown 10 times, which is amazing. So that is what tells me about India. What surprises me is that digital is the future in this country. Anybody should not at all, by any guess or intent, be opposing that, because digital will be the one that will make this country stronger and better tomorrow.
Okay, we're in a very nascent stage of the move to digital payments.
Yes.
But I've still got to ask you this question. Do you think there are too many mobile wallet companies, digital payment companies, then there will be several payment banks, and suddenly there is this profusion of payment platforms, and the Aam Aadmi like me is really flummoxed, and then you've got the UPI, right? And you're not sure what works better, why, how, who, what do you pick?
Yeah.
And, you know,
so what is happening in the market today is that everybody wants to give a solution, which is a great way to market to expand, first of all. So we have, like you said, there are other wallet companies, there are card companies converting into a QR code or a mobile-led solution, and then obviously there are other UPI and other NPCI-led initiatives which are incredible. Remember, in a market and in a country like this vast that we call India, we need all of them. We need every one of them. Obviously, some of them will have a larger market share and an ease of consumer in a different way versus over others, but every one of them is needed. Look at the cellular business, what happened in the mobile. When there were one operator, BSNL in India, for giving telephone lines, it was tough as a market because you as a consumer were not able to get it. And when private operators came, and then 4 private operators became, and so on.
It's a great analogy, but Vijay, look at what we've seen in terms of, you know, value destruction in the telecom business, the number of companies that have actually not found a good business model, and now we have 4 or 5 leading companies.
So I think very well.
So we'll go through the same cycle in payments as well, is it?
Not really, because payment somewhere is a bank's domain. I mean, banks give a service to the payment, and these companies have many other business models to run with, not just a payment as a business model. Payment as a business model will be a zero margin business model, straightforward. Paytm has benchmarked at a 0% margin, and we'll make sure this country knows that payments to the merchants will cost 0%. If it is 0%, it means everybody on the starting of the business model, they know that they have to build a business model with 0% as a revenue model.
So what will they earn revenue on?
You can earn revenue from the float. If you are a bank, you can create assets, or if you are a payment bank, then you can create transactions of other kinds. People like us will create commerce as a byproduct of business. So there are other businesses that earn revenue. Payment is a customer acquisition, zero price margin business. Straightforward, that's clear. If it is a starting point definer, it is a starting point definer. I don't wish that many people start in assumptions that it will be a money making business in payments. That is why it is.
Okay, payment banks. Now, when is yours going to come up? Airtel was the first off the block. It's offering a fantastic rate. Are you going to be able to compete with that? What, 7.5%?
7.25 actually.
7.2.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. Are you going to be able to compete with that at all?
No.
How are you going to go about positioning your payments bank?
Yeah. First of all, I think first of all, I'm very happy that Airtel started, and not just Airtel, but many others have to and should start, because payment bank is not a opportunity of starting a bank in the country for a business, but an opportunity for India to give a new business model to the world in the world of banking, where the assets are not created out of the deposits, and this means that there are deposits which are secure and safer. So I don't take our opportunity in the midst of competition in a way. I take Paytm Payment Bank as an opportunity to give a new business model to the world of banking, where you're driving transactions which are making money and not necessarily the float is making money. So we are no off to, by the way, payment transactions revenue is zero and the float revenue is very less. We are
in fact, Airtel, if I remember correctly, my colleague Mank, who tracks the sector, said that they're also charging for withdrawals. So, this is, I think, so that interesting things here, right? You're offering
low-cost airline business model. In Ryanair, they had a joke that if you go to the restroom, I'll be charging.
Pay. Yeah, I know.
You never know what business model comes.
This is the way to balance
well,
out.
I think different companies will
a fairly large interest rate in that sense.
Point is that if it is sustainable, it is a great opportunity. As a Paytm Payment Bank, we are not going to fight interest rate commercials at all. That's clear.
So what will you fight on?
We'll fight on a total return on a yield. We'll fight on total services and the experience the customer will have. And I also learned one thing in the banking space, my outside observation, not yet an insider in the ecosystem, that there are banks which offer 6% and higher interest rates in the traditional banking space also.
Yes, of course, Kotak, etc. do. Yes,
there are many of them, and
this is
while they have significant amount of advantage in the business space, but that has not swung the consumer investments from other banks.
Okay, so I have two questions. I know it's a very nascent stage, and probably I'm not being fair in trying to compare you with Airtel, but I'm still going to ask the question, right?
Yeah.
They are the largest telecom company in the country.
Yes.
So they have access to a huge subscriber base.
Yeah.
They've now started, or distribution base as you would call it, they've now started clubbing their telecom offers along with the ability to access their payment bank services, right? I want to know how you're going to compete with that. What's going to be your offering to the to the average customer, and therefore what's the business model backing that?
So let's remember this. Paytm Payment Bank, to be successful, it has to not obligate itself to compete with any other payment bank, any other bank, and it has to drive on the efficiency and capability of owning the current customer who's a large active customer already with the payment as a primary offering.
Right.
So we are talking about in the month of December itself, if you saw the data that App Annie described, and we see the total number of data, there were more than 100 million active customers. And I think in a telecom operator in the country, if you reduce the churn, if you reduce the non-active SIM cards, we are talking about that we are sitting on a large transacting smartphone active user base. And you know what I'm talking, that is a very different quality of customers. And I think, remember, I don't think that initially this will be the business of what you offer to the customer, less about who's the peer who's offering what.
So what will you offer that will be different?
I think, remember, the payment experience that we are offering, I don't think anybody else can offer. The amount of spread that we have, when you have money in your Paytm bank account or Paytm wallet, how many places are you able to use it? You had an expectation in starting that it should have been working in Davos. That's the kind of expectation our customers have from us, which means if you have money...
So are you working in Davos?
Well, I think we are yet not allowed to have international acceptance, but once we are bank, we will.
Okay.
It is serious, by the way.
You gave me a very serious answer. Yes, it is.
Very serious
I tried to book the Uber on the way from the airport to Davos.
I want to confirm.
I had to disconnect from my Paytm account and move to my debit card to be able to do that.
Menaka, I want to confirm this. Once we are a bank, we'll have international acceptance.
So I'll be able to use my Paytm account to make my payments wherever I go.
Inshallah.
Okay. Have you worked out what it takes to, because this is a new model, right? I don't think anybody really knows what the path to profitability
That's
is.
the beauty about it. That is what I was saying. So people who live in the assumptions that they have sorted it out, they all have to learn. I mean, there is not.
What's your expected path to profitability? in
So,
this?
okay.
Talk me through this,
Yeah,
because
that's
we
right.
understand
Easy to
conventional
understand.
banking.
Well,
This
very
is not
good.
conventional
Yeah,
banking.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So our business model is acquire customers on the payment and cross-sell, upsell him the either e-commerce or the financial services.
But do you make enough of a margin on those?
That's right.
To make any kind of healthy
Surprisingly,
profit?
I want to give you another surprise here.
Okay.
In the month of December, we are operating profitable already. Bank will give us more money than less. We were operating profitable in month of December.
You want to share a number?
I want to tell you we were 0.8% positive in the month of December already. So in the month where you assume we spent a lot, we did. In the month there was a large amount of spend there. We are operating profitably.
Okay. Okay. And what's the timeline horizon? When
Hopefully
do you expect?
month of February ASAP. In the month of February, obviously
You'll
we
launch in February?
Yeah.
And how long will it take for you to break even?
Well, the point is the payment bank
Is
will
that
have
even a break even, this kind of business model? How
I
does it
don't
work?
think so. Internally, one of the things that I want to tell you here is that these are long haul investments. Technology is not a quick break even investment. This is an infrastructure investment. Talk about how many years Google took, Facebook took to get a break even, and that's the beauty about these businesses. They are digital infrastructure, consumer behavior change, experiences. Once the customer experience a change, you're making money on this.
Okay, you have quite expectedly, finally, and that is a Davos feature. Every time there's a head of state flying in or out, there's a chopper above your head. But quite expectedly, you've run into some degree of protectionism from the traditional banking system, right?
Yeah.
So I think SBI, in a controversial move, said we will not allow for monies to be moved from your bank account to Paytm. I think ICICI Bank has done something similar of that nature in the last couple of days. What's going on here? Is this not anti-competitive?
Well, I think that consumers' money should move where consumer wants to make it move. I think that's a very much expectation. We were not blocked. That is the only thing I can say. And
you were not blocked.
We will not block anybody. And
you will not.
We will
but
not block.
You have been blocked by banks.
There is only one answer I can give you. Hate has never solved problem of hate. Blocking has never solved problem of blocking. I think there is only.
No, that's very
side
stoic of you, Vijay.
Yeah,
but your business model depends on this.
No, I don't think.
If I don't have interoperability,
I don't think it depends on it.
If I don't have interoperability
of your bank account.
No, just
Of your
move money
bank
from my
account.
bank
Yeah.
account to a Paytm
Yeah,
account.
You should get out of that bank to someone else. That's it.
Yeah, well, that's a tough thing to do.
Yeah,
it's
so-
easier for me to change a payment.
Actually, I want to tell
platform.
you one thing here now. Paytm's obligation is to bring underserved and unserved on the banking platform. And those who are already using are already a great customer, and I think that will continue any which ways. Our success will be when we bring underserved and unserved on our payment platform, banking platform, and financial inclusion platform. That is the success of Paytm, which means that I don't think there will be. It has an impact. There is no doubt about it, but I don't think.
So you're saying that this blocking by banks is not going to hurt your business
Let me
model?
say this. In the business, when other counterparts in the business play their last tactic first, you know there is nothing less. I think it just makes everybody, not just us, every payment bank, resilient, learned what is going to happen. I told you our payment business model is 0%. It's a no entry for any other bank. Let's talk about it.
Okay, that's brave. UPI has been an interesting platform. I think everybody's written extensively about. Yeah, so have you. I think praised it. With this business of digital payments, there is now this new fear of security as well, right? Then there is the talk of linking UPI to Aadhaar. I have this insane fear about biometrics getting stolen, and I'm coming to believe it's not insane anymore, right? I can change a bank account, I can change a debit card, I can't change my
I want to tell you, I can steal your email and I can send an email to a bank saying change your password, and I could have taken that money much earlier. Don't worry about it. And when you were getting into the car could have got accidented on the road. Did you know when you were walking on the road you could have an accident? Did you know if you were walking on a normal road somebody could have hit you? I'm totally surprised why you walking on the road, my friend. I mean, fears, that's exactly what we've been living for ages, and these fears get amplified when a new platform comes and they get normalized when
But you
things get
can't
normal.
mock how serious
I
the
repeat.
security threat to some of these things
I
is.
want to tell you the security is so important that we should take it as a paramount obligation on every payment financial services company to take care of. Let's just remember this. But the stretch imagination is obviously a stretch imagination. I mean, let's just remember this. I mean, Indians, I just want to tell you, as Indians, we need to take it as a first offering, the security and the training and the look, India has a double problem. Not just security as a problem, but also non-digital natives. People who are not technology users are becoming first-time technology users. So we have a double opportunity and a problem where they will become digital and then they will become financial services digital natives. So there's a lot to be done. Let me just, I want to tell you, let's not underestimate the amount of work the security itself and the training of security to the masses will take.
You think it's a good idea to link Aadhaar to digital payments?
I think, look, Aadhaar is identity. Aadhaar is identity, and authentication is a separate process. If it is secure and safe, identity like Aadhaar is an obligation. Everywhere in the world it happens, right? I mean, social security
biometrics, no, social security number doesn't have any biometrics, and with good reason.
I want to tell you that Aadhaar need to take care of biometric securities, and like card POS machines are only issued when they are secure and verified. Exactly like this, the card ATM machines are also done the same way. Exactly, I'm hoping Aadhaar will take care of it.
I think you paid that chopper to fly above us so that we could get back in the warm.
Yes, this is so cold, -15 and I'm freezing. And Menaka is going to get this conversation back in Delhi. See you guys there.
One more question. Last one. You said you want to be the first $100 billion company.
I want to be a $100 billion company.
Great ambition. By when? I just want a date.
Okay, before I die.
No. I need a specific date.
No, I don't think I'm going to take a specific date. It's just a moonshot shot in the country where we all have built companies which have inspired the world, and we just want to build one company which can, when you come to Davos, people say, yeah, I know this company. That's it. I mean, you know how underrepresented in a global place we are when it comes to the top companies in the world.
What are you looking forward to here in Davos?
There are a ton of people to meet and ton of conversations to learn and look forward. I mean, amazing. The fourth industrial revolution, financial inclusion, financial technologies and sustainability. Too much to talk and learn.
Thank you so much, Vijay. Thank you so much for your time. That's BloombergQuint for you right now. We'll be back with more.